You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB podcast, part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Not much, man. Just living that 500 life.
500 life continues, and it is fucking frustrating. But
at least we're not losing all the time.
We're not losing all the time, and we did call this. We said exactly last time we were like, okay, we're looking at this upcoming week. We got to beat the Islanders. We got to beat Montreal. And if we can squeeze a point out of New York and Toronto, that'd be awesome. Well, we pretty much did that, minus squeaking out a point. We probably should got at least a point against Toronto, but we'll get into that in a second. Yeah, it's been kind of a crazy week around the NHL and with the Chicago Blackhawks. So we'll dive right on in here. So first off, like we said, the Hawks go 2-2 this week in play.
It's pretty funny. Like the Hawks are in win one, lose one mode, and it's been that way since November 15th.
Which would have been fine if we didn't start the season 0-7-2 or whatever it was.
Right. It's just I don't know, man. Like, are we just gonna expect them to win the next game? Because we just lost to Toronto, so we'll this upcoming week we're gonna beat Calgary, lose to Washington, beat Nashville, lose to Dallas. Like, if that happens, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be very interesting to see if we can keep that pace up, because the next 2 weeks is some very tough teams we're playing, like teams that are near the top right now and are on good streaks at the moment. But before we get into that little preview, let's touch a little bit on the 4 games that were played since we last recorded.
Absolutely.
Kicking off with last Sunday, the Hawks took on the New York Islanders, which felt like such a trap game considering the Islanders were coming in on a 10-game losing streak. They're in their barn. They're looking for their first win in their new home arena. And, well, we almost gave it to them.
Hey, man. We're just trying to be nice. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, trying to be nice. Kick things off. Brandon Hagel gets his 8th of the season from DeBrincat and Jones. So right off the bat, what we said, the Hawks need a little bit more scoring from other guys, and lo and behold, the same guys get the Hawks on the board first.
Yeah, I love the fact that Hagel's goals are all just him in front of the net.
30 goals.
Doing a great job at that.
Yeah, he literally is Andrew Shaw. He's literally a better Andrew Shaw, which is so funny.
Yeah, I mean, just not as grindy, but got that effort going forth and stays in front of that, kind of a pest.
That was also a power play goal. Islanders come up with Pajot. Pajot gets his second of the season.
GGP
to tie it up. That was also a power play goal. And then the third period comes around. Dylan Strome gets on the board for his second of the season, which felt fucking good for him, I think.
Oh yeah.
It was like a broken play kind of. Who was it? DeBrincat? Yeah,
it was DeBrincat. Gustafsson brought the puck up. DeBrincat kind of lost it to the middle of the ice, and then Strome just finds it sitting right in the slot.
And he buries it. And then the Islanders with 4 seconds left to go in the game. Noah Dobson with his first of the year ties it up, sends the game to overtime.
That one just finds a way through people. It's so disappointing.
And it was just frustrating. It was one of those games where it's it shouldn't happen. Bad bounce, which is going to be a theme today.
Well, the other thing too, though, is even though the Islanders are on this 10-game losing streak, they weren't playing bad. They've been very competitive in all the games. So if anybody just looked at the Islanders is they're terrible. They've lost 10 games in a row. They haven't watched any of just Islanders highlights. A lot of these games were lost in the late third period or in overtime. And they were just getting unlucky. And I mean, technically, I'd say they got unlucky against the Hawks too, because they ended up going into a shootout and Fleury's perfect in the shootout.
Right. Overtime goes, it was very slow. Dylan Strome even said after the game, he's like, he doesn't understand what they were doing. They weren't really making an attack on the Hawks at all. They were kind of just sitting there holding the puck.
Yeah.
Go to the shootout. You had one goal. Patrick Kane, how are you? Nice little slow up, just fucking ripped it glove side on Varlamov. Mark Andre, you said, gets the win, his 499th career win. It's a big one. There's only two other goalies that have 500, so he is on the pace for 500 goals this week, and we will get to that. He gets two opportunities to do that.
Wins.
What did I say?
Goals.
500 wins. Which kind of, okay, so then the next game we got, so the Hawks beat Islanders 3-2 in overtime. Islanders go on 11-game losing streak. Continues. Hawks probably feel lucky to get that one, kind of giving away to them in the last 5 seconds of the third period.
Yeah.
Any more takeaways from this game?
No. I just remember it was a good game, you know. I like the Islanders too, so I was like, oh man, it'd be great if they get their first win soon, but not against the Hawks. I don't care enough. But
and so it's the funny thing too is some people are still saying the Islanders can come back, right the ship, make it to the playoffs.
I had them winning it all, so
I'll
be one of those people.
Here's my question though: what's the difference from this team going on an 11-game losing streak? Oh, they can still make the playoffs. To the Hawks, who started off 0-7-2. Oh, that team's done. They're crashed. They're washed up.
Well, the Islanders were a game away from, or basically a game away last year and 2 games away last year or the year before from making it to the Stanley Cup. Right? They were.
Yeah. I mean, they were the conference finals.
They were in the conference finals 2 years in a row. And
but I just don't understand. That team doesn't seem as.
And then you got that Barry Trotz effect, man.
I mean, you're looking at their division. You have Washington, who's just rolling right now. Carolina, who's rolling. New York, who's rolling. Pittsburgh's turning it up. You've got Columbus, who's surprising. New Jersey is hanging there. Philly's hanging in there. And then you got the Islanders with 19 points. Like, I mean, that's an equally tough division.
Yeah.
Oh God. I don't know if it's just the Hawks bias. I mean, I just don't understand why. Because the Hawks started off the way they did. Oh, they're written off. But any other team that goes on like a losing streak, oh no, they'll be able to pull back, right the ship. Let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
I just don't understand.
People are just like they're not a good team.
Yeah, I don't get that. But all right, then on Tuesday night, Chicago Blackhawks welcome to the United Center, the New York Rangers. We actually did a live stream for this on the Hockey Podcast Network, which was a lot of fun. Thanks to everybody.
It was a lot of fun.
We'll definitely think we got to do that again soon. This had a game that had a lot of milestones within reach. Well, 2 milestones within reach on both teams. As we mentioned earlier, Mark Andre, 500 wins. Panarin was also going for 500 career points.
Yeah. It was also Mark Andre's 900th game.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Jesus. He's so good.
Yeah.
God. He deserves everything.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Sorry, I just remembered something. Yeah.
Shoutouts?
Well, no. It was like a lot of I saw a post on like the hockey subreddit that was talking about like Marc Andre like having 500 wins. And then there was a bunch of people that were just like, yeah, he's not even that good. It's just like, I'm really confused because I kind of like understand where they're coming from because of like, if you're Hall of Fame worthy and you have 500 wins, like you don't lose the starting job twice.
Right.
And I don't really think that he lost the job twice as much as like you saw like Matt Murray came in and Fleury just like had a bit of like a falter, and then Murray played great. But now where's Matt Murray anyway? Like if he's gonna lose the starting job to somebody, like I don't know, like I think those people in like, oh my god, I have like a lot of weird thoughts going on. So also in Vegas, like they say that he lost it to Lehner, but you can look back at Vegas and be like, well, when it was Lehner and Fleury, like Fleury was the better goalie.
Right.
It's just maybe these guys came in and like played hot for like a second, but like I think Fleury has always been the better goalie in those situations.
It's straight up a salary cap. He lost his starting position to salary cap, not another goalie.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird argument that I like oddly could see both sides where it's like, yeah, man, like how can you say he's not a good goalie? It's 500 wins, and then other people are like, yeah, but he's probably the worst of the three goalies with 500 wins because he's lost his starting job twice. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but he's not bad. Like, I don't get the argument of him being bad. He's not bad. He won a Vezina last year at 36 years old. Like,
yeah, it's also a different era. Like, you got to take eras in consideration too. Like Patrick Waugh, Martin Brodeur, their era, it was one guy who played 60 plus games and they threw another guy in there occasionally.
And those teams were dominant too.
Yeah. You now have two solid, almost every team has got a solid 1-2 tandem.
Yeah, pretty much. You only play like a max of maybe like, if you hit 60 games, like that's a lot and very rare. Like you play a max of like maybe 50-ish.
Yeah.
You need a good backup to play at least like 25 to 30 games.
There was no, in today's NHL, there's no like just roll with the top guy. It's you go with the hot hand.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the difference between the Waugh Brodeur era versus now. And if you want to say he's the worst of the three, I mean, fair by the eye test, that's fair to say. But when you really look at it, I don't agree with that.
Right. Also, if you want to go by it too, like in that time, the goalies did have an extra inch on the pads.
It was easier for them, and the offense was not what it is today.
Oh God, no! Like there's the speed, not even close.
Yeah.
Only guy I could say that probably had the speed was Paul Bure.
I wanted to look. I know we're getting off track here, but now I kind of
a little bit. Sorry,
no, it's fine. I wanted to know
that.
NHL goalie list. I'm curious now to see
where Fleury ends up.
No, who's behind Fleury?
Oh, in like all-time wins?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
So the next active person behind Fleury,
active, okay,
is Carey Price.
Yeah,
with 360.
So 140 away.
Jonathan Quick is after that with 343. Bob, 309. Holtby, 294.
Actually, I mean,
Smith, 285. Halak, 281.
Did Lundqvist really fully retire already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because what is it? Yeah, the hockey reference .com has
him
as active still.
So I don't think you're gonna see another 500 goal or 500 win goalie in a long time.
Yeah.
Because all the guys too that are as high as they are on this list, they're older guys who are gonna probably be wrapping their career up soon.
Vasilevsky's at 204 and he's 27.
He might be the best shot, but
yeah.
That's I mean, to do what he did in the
it's a huge milestone. So that's good stuff.
Yeah,
anyway. Marc-Andre Fleury is really good.
Yeah, it's a bummer he's not going to be able to take a run at Waugh. I don't think he does. 30. He's 37.
How old was Waugh when he retired? Think about that.
65. He was born. He retired in.
He was like 38. Oh, 37. He was 37. So it was his last year.
Fleury's age.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, even looking at it, in his last year, he still played 63 games.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, even
35, 15, 13.
Brodeur played until he was 42. I mean, really, he played until 41. He played in St. Louis for those 7 games at 42 and was like, nah, never mind. But like if Marc-Andre Fleury wanted to, he could play a good 4 more seasons till he's like 41. He doesn't look like he's a 37-year-old goalie, man. Like he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I think he can easily pass Waugh if he played like 2 more seasons.
God, that's so weird seeing St. Louis for 7 games on Brodeur.
He's a St. Louis legend.
That was hilarious when they were talking about like possible Montreal Canadian GMs. They were talking about Brodeur, and they showed him in his St. Louis equipment and not New Jersey.
Yeah,
it was funny, but all right.
I love it.
Let's
back to the game.
Yeah, back to that game.
Marc-Andre Fleury going for 500 wins against the Rangers.
1 second.
Hey, Zero.
All right, so back to that. Sorry about that. All right, so like we said, 2 big 500 milestones, Panarin and Fleury. Panarin wasted no time to hit his. He got an assist on a Jacob Trouba goal 1 minute and 1 second into the first period.
Right away.
Right away.
Hate to see it.
Chicago Blackhawks let a goal right instantly, which is the story of the season.
Yeah, every other game is a loss, and every other game is like a goal in the first 5 minutes against.
It makes no fucking sense what this team's doing. But what we mentioned earlier is we need more offense from other guys. We got it. Gus gets his first of the year. The nice little shot. That was
actually pretty funny. Kubalik took the face off on this one.
Yeah,
and won it
clean.
But he doesn't get an assist because you can watch the highlight. But like he wins the face off, but you can't see who it is that like steps in. But one of the Rangers like wingers steps in and gets the puck like behind Kubalik, but loses it right to Gus, and Gus just throws it on net.
Yeah, it had eyes. Like it looked like it deflected off of somebody, but no, it just fucking dip-toed right through. Nice little goal.
Nothing too hard, nothing too crazy. So you like to see when Gus is back on the score sheet for the Hawks.
That was 43 seconds too after letting up the first goal. So the Hawks answered back quickly, which was nice. Then Kirby Dach gets on the board. A nice little trash garbage goal, just sitting there. Was it DeBrincat that threw it on net, or Strome threw it on net? Strome threw it to DeBrincat. DeBrincat threw it on net, and the Dach just tapped it in for the goal. Doesn't matter how it goes in. That had to feel good, and hopefully that's going to be a little bit of a confidence booster. I mean, it's hard to get that confidence, when you're getting a little tap and goal when you're struggling offensively as much as Dach has. But a goal is a goal.
I think it's one of those things where he needed something like that he couldn't overthink too much, because we talked about it when he had the wide open chance in Washington. It's like you have all the time in the world, you tend to overthink it. Right. This one, he sees puck, he hits puck goes in. It's just like gotta feel good to like actually get a goal on something, and then maybe like relax a bit. Oh yeah, and then that's how that first period ended.
Yeah,
Hawks were up 2-1, and it was like, hey, we're at home, baby, let's go.
And Aaron said, no. Yeah,
fucking dude, this power play, I swear to God, it's the same thing. I think it happened when we played the Rangers on the Saturday before. Like power play, Panarin's in the left side, puck squeezes through the middle, and he's wide open with a wide open net. And it's just like, okay, we saw this already.
Yep.
Of course Panarin's going to score that.
So he puts it up, ties up 2-2. The power play was working for the Rangers that game. They finished 2 for 2. Hawks 0 for 4 in the power play, which is something that they really have got to wake up and figure out what is going on there. Another big event in the second period, though, was scary moment. Khaira just gets caught with his head down by Trouba, and just is out instantly as soon as he gets hit. Goes down hard, hits his head on the ice, has to be stretchered out. Super scary. Was one of those like, oh crap.
Yeah, you can tell he was out when he got hit. And oof.
I think you said it best too in our group chat that it was unintentionally dirty.
Yeah, like you can't. just because like he clearly didn't like mean to hit him in like the head. Like you can't just be, oh, it was a clean hit. It was a clean hit. Like he wasn't going for the head. It's like, yeah, it's not a clean hit though. A clean hit would be like shoulder to chest. It was shoulder to like, he got him right on the chin. Like that's a dirty hit, but he did it in a way that it wasn't meant to be dirty. It was unintentionally dirty hit. Like
head, if his head was up, it's a completely different hit.
Yeah, exactly. Like Trouba, like he went in for a clean hit. He went in for a clean hit. He had his shoulder tucked. He had his feet on the ice. But you know, like when you're going to brace yourself for a hit yourself, like you're not watching with your own head to make sure you hit them. Like you're bracing for a hit. And like when you pull your shoulder up towards your head because you're bracing for that hit, like, and he has his head down, initial contact was like right to the face. And like he didn't mean to fucking do that, like, which is completely fine. Unintentionally, like a dirty hit. I don't see how people are just like, oh, like he should have kept his head up. It's a clean hit. No. A clean hit would be shoulder to chest.
Right.
Like that's it's easy enough. Like everybody thinks that because if I'm calling it like a dirty hit, it's like, oh, like there's malintent and like all this other like he wasn't malicious about it and everything like that. It's like no. By the definition of like a clean hit and a dirty hit, that's a dirty hit. Was he meaning to do the dirty hit? No, absolutely not. Like just because somebody doesn't mean to have a dirty hit doesn't mean the hit's fucking clean. Like that's not how it works.
Yeah. Update on that though too. Like early Wednesday morning, he was released from the hospital. So that's great. Great news. No timeline for him to return to the team. Which
they said it was an excellent prognosis.
Yeah. So
from the team doctor. So that's good. It like it's scary because of how long it did. They stayed, like they didn't cut to commercial or anything. They stayed on him for a long time.
That was really weird.
It was scary.
And they did.
It was scary.
It was like focused on him too. Like usually when like that happens, they'll cut to like the bench or cut up top to the announcers to kind of like, you know, whatever to change it. No, they kept it on his essentially lifeless body on the ice.
Oh my God! Don't say lifeless.
But it literally was. Literally, like you're looking at that, like you didn't see what happened, and you come out into there, dude. He looked dead. Like that's how scary it was.
Yeah, it was creepy. I was gonna say like good on like Ryan Strome. Like he was the first one that was like right away, like get the medical guys out here because the play was still like going on just slightly. I mean, obviously, like you see a hit that huge, like people are going to go after Trouba, and it's like, yeah, I get it. But like maybe make sure your guy's good. But yeah, everybody like taking a knee, trying to like, and like really just feeling for him. I'm sure Trouba too was just like, yeah, you know, like at the end of the day, like you feel bad somebody got hurt, but you don't like not hit that in that situation, you know, like the guy has his head down crossing the blue line. Like it sucks that like he caught the pass and then didn't catch it completely clean and it stayed in his feet because
so it.
Yeah, I also like people. I saw like people online like, oh, what a suicide pass. It's like, bro, did you watch the play? Like it's on his stick, but the transfer of his stick to like turning going up the ice, he loses it in his feet. Yeah. Which is why his head comes like so tucked down. And then it's like, yeah, man, that's not a good situation. Like if anything, you should be kicking it to outside or something like that. But
it was good to see it didn't affect Trouba much because the very next night he does the exact same thing to Nathan McKinnon.
Hey, if I honestly, if I'm Trouba and guy has his head down and they're crossing like the certain part of the ice where you either step up or you take a step back, like you're a big boy, like it's a big game, like play the body. Like, it's not his fault that like the guys are tucking their fucking heads into their chest, but like even if you're a bigger guy too, like he's a big boy, man. Like you drop your shoulder a little bit and you try and hit him in the chest, like, and you catch somebody's head, like that sucks. I guess it would be a penalty worthy, but I don't see it being like suspension worthy.
Yeah, they didn't call anything on the play. I wasn't surprised there wasn't a review for, you know, player safety and all that kind of stuff. But what made it really interesting though, too, is after that game, was it the next day, and Andrew Shaw tweets out. I should have had this pulled up.
Well, part of the issue too is like Khaira has had like concussion issues while in Edmonton. I guess he's had like 2 or 3 over the last like couple of years. So like that's another reason I think Andrew Shaw had spoken out, because like he had concussion issues and like shit like that would happen to him, and that's what that's what caused his career to stop so suddenly, you know.
So here, Andrew Shaw tweets out the next day. So at NHL Player Safety, we're gonna see you protect your players. Are you gonna just point the finger at Juhar, saying that he put himself in the position like he told me on many occasions?
Yeah.
Interesting to see him go after them, but it's like you said, it's tough. Like I understand what they're trying to get rid of in the league and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's like you really see how bad it is when it was slowed down.
Right, exactly. When you're looking at it like full speed,
it was
the
fine.
Pace of the game, it's hard to make that little inch adjustment.
Yeah.
To like, and like all like he's just as responsible as Khaira is, like, and it sucks to see it happen. Like nobody wants that to fucking happen. I think the thing that's also that I noticed too is like, who do we have to respond to those situations? Like that's one of those like where it's not a clean hit. I think there should have been a penalty. Even though it's like unintentional, like it's the same shit. It's like tripping. There's a lot of times like a guy's stick gets caught in somebody's skates and they fucking fall. And it's like tripping. It's like, yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, well, you still did it, dude. Like you're going to the box. Like, no, I don't. But having like Riley Stillman step in and try and fight him, it's like watching Bambi go after a hunter, man. Like he's way fucking bigger and stronger than Stillman. You know who I would have rather seen? And it's gonna sound weird, but like, who responds when McKinnon gets hit by Trouba? The captain.
Yeah.
Landeskog. I would have rather seen fucking Taves go after him.
Right.
I think Taves has more of a sturdy base and stronger muscular like structure than Riley Stillman. I think Taves could have probably stood with him.
Taves is a big guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like, I mean, this was before he was even scoring. Like, fire the fucking team up, dude. Like, I think if Taves responds in that situation and throws down, like maybe the team's a little bit more fired up and that game goes a little bit differently.
And they addressed something with that in a couple days. We'll touch on that in a little bit here, but that was a really scary moment, and I really think too that kind of just took the Hawks out of this game. I think that they were shaken, and Taze even said in the post game like media scrum that it was really hard. It's really hard to kind of get focus back on hockey when one of your teammates goes down like that and leaves the way that he had to leave. Like it's really hard to focus on the game and try to, salvage the game. And they had a very hard time doing that because including the Panarin goal in the second period, they ended up letting up 5 unanswered goals. Granted, 2 of those were empty nets?
No, only one.
Only one. Okay. So
I think
the third period comes on. Chris Kreider.
Panarin's goal was empty netter, I think.
Yeah, Chris Kreider with the power play goal, assist from Fox and Panarin. Kevin Rooney with a goal with the assist from Fox and Reeves. Panarin with the empty net goal for his 9th of the year. Trouba and Zibanejad, his assist on there. And Trouba gets the Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah.
For the night, and then Barclay Goodrow puts up his 4th of the year with an assist from Reeves and Rooney. So Hawks end up falling that game 6-2.
Yeah, I think what hurts is the Hawks gave up a multi-point game to fucking Ryan Reeves.
That who is funny, like he just did not seem like he was out there at all that game, except for those moments. That was the 7th in a row for New York.
Oh, wait. Who did Strome fight? Ryan Strome fought somebody.
Oh, Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
At the very end.
I love Carpenter. Carpenter's great. That was their 6th in a row, I think. No, it was their 7th, I think.
7th, yeah.
Yeah, the Rangers are just rolling, so.
Yeah. But then they
That's
go and
kind
they
of
get
hard.
smoked by Colorado the next day, which, interesting enough, real random. I know this is Hawks talk, but Colorado has won 3 in a row
Well, yeah,
with,
Nathan McKinnon came back.
with 7 goals each game. So they scored
Oh,
21 goals
are you
last
kidding
3
me?
games.
Oh God, that's who did they play?
Here, let me pull it up really quick. It's like they are just fucking teams.
Well, yeah, dude,
Up.
the Rangers were streak. Okay, so they 7-3 against Detroit, 7-3 against the Rangers, and 7-5 against the Flyers. Jesus.
Colorado's trying to make up ground.
Well, I mean, they did lose to Toronto a couple weeks ago, 8-3, and ever since then they're like, okay,
Let's figure this
we're gonna
shit out.
score goals. Except for they did lose to Ottawa 6-5 in overtime. But yeah, putting up 21 goals in 3 games is insane. Ooh, and they're playing the Panthers today.
That should be a good game.
Yeah.
So Marc-Andre does not get career win number 500 at night. But Thursday we head to Montreal. We're in Marc-Andre's backyard, his home Providence. Give him the net once more.
Oh yeah.
And what a way to get career win number 500.
Gotta love it.
Putting
Gets
up
the shutout.
30 shots, 30 shot shutout.
Gotta love to see it.
Love
Again,
to see it.
Also Montreal is just kind of a broken team. They have so many injuries.
They're essentially playing their AHL team at this point.
Pretty much. They got Cole Caulfield out there. Kid's an AHLer.
Right? But you know what else is big about this game?
What is that?
Johnny Tays, baby.
It's on the board.
It's on the board. And it's a power play goal, too.
Yeah, it was a sick
Two
little
struggling
tip.
things.
Yeah. He's sitting on the edge or the side of the net and just tips it and it goes top corner too. It's just such a perfect little tip.
And the best thing too is him going to the bench and like how they typically do like the monkey off the back. He goes and he like does like an extra like hard shake and then they're like, oh yeah, he got the gorilla off of his back.
Yeah, seriously. It's gotta feel good. It was his first goal since March 2020.
Yeah.
It was like March 5th or something, I think.
Yeah, so his first regular season goal since like March, right before COVID shut down. Yeah. And then his first goal in general since the bubble against Vegas.
Yeah, wow. It's been a minute.
So he's feeling it. Let's go. And then
see the captain get it on the board.
Third period, Borgstrom has a little insurance with 8 minutes to go in the third. He gets on the board for his second. So since we mentioned that, there hasn't been a DeBrincat goal, there hasn't been a Kane goal, there hasn't been a Seth Jones goal. All got an assist.
Well, yeah.
but no goals from those 3.
It's good to see some goals happening from other guys, though.
But let's clarify, too. We want to see these guys scoring on top of you guys scoring.
Exactly.
It's not one or the other. Let's get both. Let's all get in on the action. Let's Colorado this. Let's put 7 goals up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So Blackhawks win in Montreal 2-0. Marc-Andre Fleury 500 career win. They're going to honor him before the game tonight, which is Monday.
He gets the Fleury chant in Montreal at the end of the game.
Yeah, which
I think that was amazing.
He was even surprised. He goes, I was even surprised by it. He goes, I've always had a hard time. I thought they hated me here in Montreal. But he's like, how do you hate him?
I don't know how anybody could hate Montreal. I think it was it was on Reddit. It was like, how can anybody hate Marc-Andre Fleury? And then it was somebody's like, I'm a San Jose fan. You can easily hate Marc-Andre Fleury. I was like, okay, yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense.
What was it? San Jose, and then who was the other cup?
Oh, I was saying San Jose because of won the cup, and then San Jose versus Vegas.
Oh yeah. That makes sense. But, so we already talked about the whole 500 wins there. It's amazing. The third player to do it. Don't think it's gonna be something we're gonna see. Vasilevsky might be the only one that has a chance.
Yeah, he's what did we say? He's at 240. I forgot already.
Yeah, something like that. Let's see.
I'm gonna pull it back up real quick.
Yeah,
he's at 204.
204. So that's even that's even harder.
He's 2/5 of the way there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he can easily do it though. He's only 27. Marc-Andre's 37, so 10 more years.
It'd just be interesting.
300 wins.
It really depends too, though, how Tampa Bay keeps up.
Yeah.
It's if Tampa Bay doesn't go through like a rebuild mode, like a lot of these top tier teams seem to be going through at one point after they've had their cup wins, which I think they're starting to feel it a little bit with their cap.
I hope they do. I hope they go through a little tear down.
So
God, I want other teams to feel it.
See, what's going to be unfair is that by the time it comes to the point where Tampa's going to start feeling it, it's when the cap's going to go up like crazy, and they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, cool, we're good."
Well, whatever. I just hope they lose some guys before now and then.
Yeah. So we wrap up this week of games and this road trip in Toronto, which on paper was going to be a very interesting game. The teams played really tight in Chicago back in October, but that was a completely different time. Both of these teams were different, completely different settings. So I was very curious how this was going. Maple Leafs were on a roll. Things get kicked off by, I don't know, Jonathan Toews. You heard of him? Mr. I'm on a goal streak, baby. Let's go. His second of the year.
Going streaking.
Almost 2 minutes into the first period. Reese Johnson, Connor Murphy with the assist. Again, a lot of names we need to see on the score sheet that we haven't seen very much of. But almost a minute.
Reese Johnson and Connor Murphy.
Let's go. Get assists, baby. Let's go. You need, especially when they're throwing like Reese Johnson and these guys up with Jonathan Toews. Like, you're going to have to produce assists at least. Like, you're going to have to do something.
It was good to see too that like this goal was a legit, like came in and ripped a shot far side. It was the first shot of the game too for the Hawks. So it was just like, oh, he's feeling it.
It was definitely it's what I was hoping was going to happen with Doc, where Toews, the first one was like a nice, like sit in front of the net. Like, yeah, it was still like a good goal, but it wasn't like a total skill, like, okay, ripping it, letting it go kind of thing. This one was more of a like, all right, I got the first one. Now I got this one to show that I can do it. Let's go. Like, hopefully now that's going to be.
Got the confidence up.
Yeah. And then the wheels fell off for Chicago.
I mean, I don't know as much as the wheels fell off for Chicago as much as like it's Toronto and they're playing real fucking good right now.
Let up 4 unanswered goals between the rest of the first period and the start of the second. 2 of them are being power play goals from John Tavares. I mean, just listen to these names. John Tavares from Matthews Nylander, William Nylander from Tavares, and was it Liljegren?
Liljegren.
Like Austin Matthews, Nylander again on the power play. Like, it's stupid.
Like the Tavares one probably want back because it snuck between his arm and his like body, and it was a weirdly oddly like perfectly placed where like when you go down, it's just under your hand. It's just over your pad and it's just next to your hip, like that little spot.
Yeah,
it was a good place shot. Nylander's goal was a little bit of puck watching from Seth Jones because he just dumps it in. Seth Jones is basically playing between the puck and the boards, like the sideboards, rather than the puck and the net. And then Tavares just throws that out in front and Nylander tips that in. And it's just like, oh my God, please, like, can we get the defense going? And then they're taking bad penalties, and Toronto's just too good of a team, and Hawks are just not good enough on the penalty kill right now. When you have Mitch Marner, Tavares, like Riley, like Morgan Riley, Austin Matthews, and like
Mitch Marner's out
on the power play. Oh, is he?
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that. But even without him, like those 4 guys, it's insane.
Right. Yeah. Also, Austin Matthews made 3-0 or 3-1 in the first. The second period, about 3 minutes or so into it, Pierre Engvall scores, making it 4-1.
It's like a fucking no look shot too, coming around the back of the net.
Yeah.
That's another one that like I think Lincoln should have. He just pulled himself off the post and then didn't play the puck like well enough. Beats him short side.
And then after it's 4-1, the Hawks put up a little bit more of a fight. Closing out the period, Connor Murphy gets his second of the year for Brandon Hagel. Then he started in the third period, just under 2 minutes into it. Dominic Kubalik gets on the board again. So he is another player that's been struggling, who's got multiple goals recently.
Yeah.
Kurashev and McCabe with the assist on that one. Jake McCabe with his second of the year, assist from Stillman and Carpenter. Makes it 4-4, which
that Kubalik goal, Kurashev showed his speed on that one.
Yeah.
He fucking coming from behind and beating out two Toronto players to the puck in the offensive zone. That was amazing to see.
I think that little stint in Rockford kind of helped him a little bit. Kind of recharge him and all that. But, battling back, being down 4-1 to
tying it up.
It's a tie, to the top team in the league. One of the top teams in this league.
Yeah.
For this team that everybody's written off, I mean, that's huge. That is right there, regardless of how this game ended. That's a win right there to show that, hey, we can do this. Like, we can be with these teams. Like, it'd be nice not to be in the situation to start, but rather keep it close the whole way. But also another thing with that is you're doing that with, again, there was no Seth Jones, no Patrick Kane, no DeBrincat.
Yeah.
Like,
did they even touch the score sheet? None of them touched the score sheet this game.
No assists, no nothing for those three.
Jake McCabe with a multi-point game. Connor Murphy with a multi-point game. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then so the unfortunate way this game ends was just a weird dump in.
David Kampf.
Yeah. Dump into the zone, hits a weird hop off the backboard, goes right to Camp. Lincoln was out to play the puck. Okay, 9 times out of 10, it's going to do this exact same movement, right to the stick, to the behind the net, up and out. Did it hit the board or hit the glass?
I think it hit the glass, I'm assuming. It doesn't really, I watched like the replay a couple times, and that's the only thing you can assume has happened is like it's like a ring around the glass and it hits one of the stanchions that's like between the panes and then fucking just pops out right in front of the net.
And Camp picks it up and throws it on net. Of course, it's got to be David Camp. I mean, there's no other way that game was going to end. If it was going to end like that, it was going to be a stupid bounce right to former Blackhawk David Camp. Kubalik in the post-game conference, they were asking about it, and he goes, yeah, you got to be happy for Camp. He's my friend. I just kind of wish, he was doing that against other teams and not us. But
he had all of 1 goal last year for us, and he's got 4 this year, and 2 of them happen to be against the Hawks.
Woof. Football fans, I'm sure we all love an action-packed, high-scoring NFL game, but with the latest no-brainer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, you'll be a winner once a single point is scored. New customers who bet just $1 on any team to score can win $100 in free bets. It's that simple. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still get in on the action. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports Contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet $1 on any team to score and win $100 in free bets. If they score, you score with promo code THPN. This week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. 1 per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. What's interesting about this game for the Hawks, a big positive, 4 5-on-5 goals.
Yeah.
They've only had,
They also outshot the Leafs 35-26.
Yeah. There's only been, 3 games this year that they had more than 2 5-on-5 goals or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's some crazy stat that just didn't even seem real.
That's crazy.
Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. But yeah, so strides are being made with this team. Yeah.
They're looking good. It sucks that they fall short on this one, but that's one that, like you said, that's one of those top teams in the league, and the Hawks are battling back, and keeping up with them, let alone like maybe even playing a little bit better than they were like in the latter half of the game.
Sorry, I thought I guess I didn't retweet it. I don't remember where it's at either. But yeah, it was some crazy stat. It's 5-on-5. They need to get it going.
Well,
but yeah,
power play's not going.
Power play's not going. It's just that's the thing. It's like one thing with this team starts working, and then whatever's working for them at that point just stops. It's like they can't have multiple parts of their game going at once. It is always like it's this or that. It's frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, if we could have that consistency and put it all together, that'd be great.
So
that's
some
what the
other
good teams
little,
do, though.
Yeah. So do you got any other little like tidbits on the games or any what you want to say, or you want to go into some other news for the Hawks?
Let's just go into other Hawk stuff.
All right. So we mentioned earlier after the Khaira hit that the team, were really lacking some size and lacking guys that can really step up and do something about that. And after that, Derek King apparently went to interim GM Kyle Davison and said, "Hey, we need an enforcer. We need some size. We need some grit. Stand up for situations like that." And Davison goes out and he trades for Curtis Gabriel, who was in the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. Traded, was it Chad Chris for it? Yeah. Great trade. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to add some size. And Curtis Gabriel seems like a good guy to have in the locker room as well. What was it last year? We said he was a nominee for the King Clancy Trophy, right?
Yeah, he was for his work with like the LGBTQ community and minority hockey groups and all that kind of minority groups and all that. But it's one of those trades where it wasn't made to go and jumpstart this offense. It's more of a, hey, you're in the fourth line. We need you to step up for your team, throw some bodies, get some momentum going in that way, pump the boys up. And I think he's going to do great for that.
Yeah, I remember like seeing little clips of him last year when he was getting in scraps, but it would be like pre-game stuff, and he would like tell guys like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you today. I'm gonna fight you."
So his last full season, his last time in the NHL was last year, the 2021 season with the Sharks. He played 11 games, had 55 penalty minutes in 11 games.
He's a scrapper.
Yeah. So NHL career totals: 49 games played, 2 goals, 3 assists, 153 points. Not going to expect him to put up some offense. That's for sure.
No, that's all right. That's
not
what we traded him for.
It'll be interesting to see when
he's 6'6". Holy shit.
He's a big guy. And if you see his social media and all of this stuff, he's such a positive guy, which is so funny because it's inclusion and let's all be nice and all this, and then you cut to him on the ice, he's just beating the shit out of people,
doing it with a smile on.
Right. So that'll be interesting. I will be curious to see when he gets in the lineup with the Hawks. I believe he's assigned in Rockford right now.
No, he was a scratch last game. Well, that was also because I think he just kind of stayed in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
When the Hawks came to visit, so that might have been why.
Yeah, so we'll see what he does, and it's going to be a nice little jump start for the offense. I think you're going to expect for roster moves for this team. You're not going to, unless some crazy win streak happens now. I don't think we're going to see a lot of additions to this team. That's going to be oh yeah, shiny, sexy add to the team. It's going to be more. We're going to be losing guys. We're going to be adding some pieces.
Yeah, they talk about all the time that the Hawks are shopping around Ryan Carpenter,
Dahan, Strome.
Yeah, and Strome. It for whatever reason there's those hockey fan Instagram news pages that keep trying to say that Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be traded, and I'm just I don't see anything actual Hawks related from Hawks media personnel saying that they're shopping around Marc-Andre Fleury. I think everybody just thinks it makes sense because the Hawks are in a bad position currently, and they're like, oh, they got to be moving him.
Yeah, I think teams are going to ask about Marc-Andre, and then
but
the Hawks
that'd be like closer to like the trade deadline,
exactly.
Like not currently. Like what?
And I hope they don't Vegas him, and I hope if they get a trade offer that they like, I hope they say, hey, here's the situation. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, if we're way out of a playoff spot come like the trade deadline, it makes sense. But if we're in the hunt and he doesn't want to fucking go anywhere, then yeah, like don't move him. It'd be cool if he plays really well, and if we, for whatever reason, are just still like in a tough. I mean, we're in a tough division. If we're towards the back end of the division, dude, if we trade Marc-Andre Fleury for like a first rounder, hey,
especially because we don't have a first rounder this year.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I would love to see Marc-Andre get a lifetime contract with the Hawks and just play as long as he wants. I love him. I love the guy.
Yeah. I would like to see him stay and finish, or maybe even if he plays another year or two, like that's great. I don't know.
Speaking of trade targets too, we brought up Strome, which reminded me too. He was a healthy scratch against Montreal. And then
Strome was?
Yeah.
Why did I just don't like not having consistency with his game is so weird.
He was they asked Derek King about it, and he basically said we keep pounding it in him. The big thing with him is he's gonna have to change his game a little bit to play. You can't base everything on points, right? It's all about the trust factor. When we're late in the game and I need to go to 3 lines, is he gonna be that guy on one of those 3 lines that I can trust on the D zone faceoff or when trapped in our end? Right now, we're just not trusting each other in that extent. He's a lot more to give, and he realized that he's been playing better for sure. He has, but it's those little details of the game. So he's completely just lost all trust from this team. He has got to really kind of dig deep, but it's like at the same time, do you think it's kind of one of those, it's like he's lost trust in the team because he's got no confidence because he's not getting an opportunity to show what he can do?
No, man, because like I feel like he has had the opportunity. Like I think the team lost trust, the team lost confidence, and then now it's like I can see him being like, "Oh, like I'm not sure if I'm going to play or not." It's like, yeah, man, because you haven't put it together consistently.
Yeah,
like you gotta go out there and like show them that you can fucking do it day in and day out.
Ugh. I don't know. The last thing I really have here too for Hawks talk is Mike Milbury, who I completely forgot about until this exact thing came out. Had some comments about Coach Derek King. Basically, he goes, if anybody thinks this guy can coach an NHL team, they're nuts. He goes, I had him as a player. He was lazy, whatever you want to call it. Even if he had some talent, but listening to him talk as if he were a coach, I mean, talk about the opposite of inspiration. It's boring. And if I were Jonathan Toews, that'd be another reason for me to want to change the music.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit what you think, Mike Milbury.
And you know what? It's so funny that he says that because the way he is, the fact that he's not that like that loud, that in your face type of coach. He's that I'm happy to be here. Let's go out there, do our best. That Ted Lasso style coach.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what makes him a great coach and the perfect coach for the situation right now. You have a team that's lost all confidence in themselves because of the start that they had and the coach that they had before, where it's reported that they were afraid to make mistakes without, having to deal with, the wrath of Carlton and all that kind of stuff. So you have this guy that's laid back coming in. It's what this team
get back
needed.
to playing hockey.
Exactly. And he even knows, like, I still don't think that he's the guy. Like, I don't think he's going to be the one that gets the head coaching job next year when they start the search for the permanent guy. But I think he's exactly what this team needs in the moment right now. And I think a lot of teams probably should look at something like this when they make a coaching change instead of jumping into something, without giving it time to figure it out.
Yeah, I just hate when like guys like Milbury get like audio out there of their fucking opinions, and it's always just old school guys that the game's passing them by. Like nobody gives a shit what you have to say, Mike Milbury. Like
So okay,
So
we'll use
annoying.
that. We're gonna use that as a good transition over to NHL talk.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Torts. You wanna hit this one?
Torts is just a grumpy old guy that doesn't like flashy plays. He's the younger Don Cherry. Fucking Trevor Zegras had an insane assist this week where he basically is behind the net, picks the puck up on his stick, tosses it over the top of the net, and Sonny Milano just bats it right in, and everybody's like, did that just happen in an NHL game? And even Zegras in his celebration is just like
hands on his head. Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, it worked. It's just like
seeing the memes.
Amazing.
Seeing the memes too about that. Everybody's like, there's like one where there's like two people at a conference, like a press conference. Zegras, it's like, okay, they got Milano over one and Zegras over the other. The one that's got like all the microphones and stuff in front of him is Zegras. And then it's like Milano over here getting ignored for his crazy hand-eye coordination to put it in.
Yeah, there was a Zegras had like, I think it was like a post-game interview, and I sent it to you and like the guys. It was really funny because I think it's Butchergrass or it's Barry Melrose. It's like talking to him. Oh, I think was it Butchergrass?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, it's the camera's on Zegras and he's got the audio and he's like, hey Zegras, John Butchergrass. He's like, hey Butchie, I saw you at Tim Hortons earlier. Like, you were down in a donut. I wanted to say hi, but you got out of there real quick. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, he's such a goof.
This game is becoming they're on the verge of being so marketable.
Yeah, like this kid is hilarious. He's like, if you want America, like USA players or like the US to like become huge into hockey, like more of it, like a USA born kid, Trevor Zegras, absolutely hilarious. He's just like, what do you think about Sonny Milano? He's like, oh, kid's got great hand-eye coordination. It's pretty funny too. So it's like, yeah, man, I love the like more candid interview rather than just like oh, we go out there, we play hard, try and make things happen, get the
copy paste. Yeah. I always think of that Jared Keeso from Letterkenny, the video of him and Dylan Playfair.
Oh yeah,
in the locker room, and they're just
get the puck deep.
Yeah, get the puck deep. It's a team effort. And they're like asking him questions about like, oh, there's a rumor that you were at a stripper club and you contacted HIV from it. Oh, you got to do what you got to do, and
you got to get pucks deep, and
yeah, it's so funny, but yeah, so that's why it's like, I think between the McDavid comments and now this,
yeah,
I think Torts is done. I don't think he's going to get a shot to coach again.
He was saying that he thinks it's bad for the game because like now he sees out there that like kids are trying to pull this off in practice all the time, and like coaches are like, kids are asking coaches to like set up plays around it. It's like, first of all, there's no such thing as like a set play when you're doing these creative kind of things. That's why you're using creativity.
Yeah, that was DiPietro. DiPietro was saying that he's got players that are like, hey, can we draw it up so like off the face off we can go and we could do this kind of thing to do the Michigan and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Like what do you expect? Like any one of your players to just be able to like pick the puck up and wrap it around and tuck it in the top of the net? It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I was saying in our group chat too, it's like, yeah, if the game starts to get more flashy and creative like that, like eventually it's just going to be a phase, because as soon as like it starts to get too flashy, then you're going to get a lot of these players similar to, I would say, like Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk that are able to keep up in pace, and they're going to be taking guys fucking heads off because of how easy it's going to be when guys are leaving themselves unprotected trying to do this flashy shit. Like, people are going to start coming around at the side of the net, and then the defensive thing is no longer going to be stay in front and block the pass. It's going to be kill the guy coming around the fucking side of the net. And then it's like, all right. And then you have to adjust and you have to like adapt to what's going on.
It's hilarious. You brought up Matthew. It's hilarious you brought up Matthew Tkachuk as one of those guys, as he's got two extremely flashy goals.
Yeah, exactly. he's the kind of guy that has that skill set where he can do this flashy stuff, but he's also got the size and he's willing to use it to fucking destroy the people that are fucking doing the flashy stuff too. So it's like fun and exciting to see in hockey, but like guys will adapt. It's not going to just be like, oh, the puck's actually going to end up staying in the air for a majority of the game, and guys are going to start lacrossing it all over the place. It's gonna be, like, that's not what's going to happen. Like, it's fucking, it's, like I said, it's exciting to see.
The NHL is on the verge of being marketable and exciting and bringing more fans to it, and you want to just shut that down because it's not the old school hockey style.
Yeah. I mean, old school hockey will always be there. Like, at the end of the day, like, the most competitive style of hockey that a lot of the guys can actually attain is the old school style of just like hard nosed fucking like play the body, skate hard, get the puck deep. That's the style of hockey that will always be around. The guys like Trevor Zegras that can like do the flashy stuff, like those are very far and few between, those kinds of guys.
And there's a huge difference of doing that in a game in just early December, versus trying to do that game in game 6 of the conference final.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Like
you try to pull that off in the playoffs and you don't get it, you're fucking sitting.
Right.
I can guarantee
100%.
it.
It's like they're picking their moments to try to have fun and, make this interesting. And why not? Why not do it when these games essentially mean nothing? Especially Anaheim, who is exceeding expectations.
They're playing great.
Going way more than what anybody expected. They're having fun. They're loving life. Let them try this shit. Let them try to grow the game a little bit. Like, that's all you're doing is growing the game and opening your eyes to more people that, this isn't just like an old man sport anymore. Like, it's flashy. It's fun. Get them in with that. And then people can fall in love with the game, what it really is.
I love Trevor Zegras. He's
fun.
So great.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I think it's crazy too. Like, Sonny Milano is just becoming like, I wonder what it's reminding me of. So like, Zegras is making the guys around him better. And I think Sonny Milano and Trevor Zegras is reminding me of like Tavares with like Matt Molson. Like, the guy that can do it all. And then he has the perfect like sidekick.
Yeah.
That's like, that works just so well with what's happening. I just think it's going to be really like some good shit there. And I don't know, maybe Buffalo's going to overpay for Sonny Milano eventually in the future.
But yeah, so that happened. Torts, so a couple old school guys that are kind of just, I think, realizing that their time's up. Torts is always going to be good for that, soundbite to be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But I just, for me, that was just him, the final nail in the coffin for him. Like, I would be shocked to see. I guess I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be surprised if he gets another coaching opportunity anytime soon.
Yeah, it would. I don't see like a younger team going with a coach like Torts though.
Because he even said, he goes, if they try to pull that off in my game and I'm the coach, we're having a conversation about it.
Yeah, you sit guys like Patty Laine for going out there and trying to snipe goals instead of like play the body and get in the corners. And I mean, that's not what some of these guys' games is. Like, that's not what their game is. So I don't know. He's trying to get everybody to fit into the box of what the style of game that he wants played versus like playing the style that they play and putting your coaching style around that. Yeah. I think he's just going to remain on TV as a commentator.
Which I think, it's perfect for him, I think. I think that's exactly where he needs to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to need that voice of the old school guys somewhere, and I think it's better suited on TV rather than behind the bench. Just to have, that different point of view. Can't have a bunch of TV commentators all be the same. Got to have like the different points of view there.
So let's move on to something else here. A little shit show that is the continued drama of hockey in the desert.
Oh, yeah.
Have the Arizona Coyotes. It came out, what was that, Wednesday night? Thursday?
Something like that.
Wednesday night. The Arizona Coyotes owe the city of Glendale $1.3 million in unpaid invoices and taxes. And we're told that they have until 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on December 20th to pay these dues, or else they're locked out of the arena. What is going on in Arizona?
I don't know. They just assumed that they didn't have to do it.
They're claiming, so Arizona's claiming it was a human error, that they're investigating why that happened and that it's not going to be an issue and all that kind of stuff. listen, it's obvious the city of Glendale has their own agenda. They're terminating their contract with the Coyotes at the end of the season. They're gonna have to, so the Coyotes will have to find a new arena for next year, which they still haven't, by the way. They're pulling this off. Like, clearly, Glendale doesn't want the Coyotes. What blows my mind is that Gary Bettman came out again and said that there's nothing to be concerned about the Coyotes in Arizona.
They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. There's no problems. That is literally could not have been. Only way that would have been better is if he said that in a burning house and he tried to say that this house is fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Like, at what point do you just say, hey, we're wrong? It's hockey in Arizona is not going to work out.
Hockey in Arizona produced Austin Matthews.
That's one. Yeah. Okay. But NHL hockey in Arizona has produced one player.
You got to force it now. You got to force it now.
God. But it's like, and here's another thing too, is people are like, oh no, the market is good. Yeah. The market's so good, huh? Then why have the Coyotes not been able to get approval for an arena in any other nearing towns or cities? Not one place has given them the okay to start to build arena in their areas.
I don't know. It's weird.
It makes no sense. Like, I don't want them to leave. I don't, because especially now that they got the Kachina back, I would love for them to stay and just route the Kachina for the rest of the time. Hey, man,
what if they are still the Coyotes? They're just not in Arizona.
Could you pull off the Kachina, though? Like the desert settings on the
Albuquerque Coyotes?
Oh, man. The
New Mexico Coyotes.
I don't understand why they are trying so hard. Like, they didn't try this hard in Atlanta. Like, to keep the Thrashers in Atlanta. Like, it was like, oh, it's not working. Okay, cool. True North bottom. Let's go.
Time to get out of here.
It just makes no sense. And then on top of that, reports came out that have been confirmed that Gary Bettman is meeting with Quebec government officials in January to discuss a team in Quebec.
Ottawa. Just move Ottawa. Move the Senators to Quebec.
Ottawa, Coyotes, Buffalo.
I just don't see them ever moving Buffalo.
I don't either, but
because they have one of the more dedicated fan bases, even if it is like a smaller market.
I just don't trust their owners. I think their owners would try to move them somewhere else because the owners are threatening to move the Bills. They own the Bills too.
That's crazy.
It's like, yeah. And then the other team that has been talked about relocation too before, which I still don't know how their numbers are now that they're good, but the Panthers. They're another team that's been highlighted there. So, I mean, if Quebec's getting a team, it's going to be relocation. Like, there's no way we're expanding.
Yeah, if we went to 33 teams, that'd be so fucked up.
Dumb.
Where I think 32 is perfect. Half the league makes it to the playoffs. Half the league doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Arizona's gonna come out. I think Arizona's moving. I mean, the fact too, they don't have an arena for next year.
Yeah, but aren't they talking about moving to like Houston?
Right, Houston's out there. Houston wants a team. It's like Houston and Quebec are the two cities that have been pushing for a team.
Yeah,
Houston makes some more sense. Like I mentioned in the little 2-minute minor video I did, it makes more sense because you don't have to realign the league again.
Right.
You don't have to deal with the Canadian dollar by moving another team in Canada.
You get a team that like a lot of players would probably want to go to because there's no state tax.
Right. So it makes more sense there. But Quebec would just be so cool. Oh my God, the Nordiques again.
Nah, dude, I don't like Canadians. That'd be really, yeah. I mean, that would be, that would be on fire. What if they just move Colorado back?
Colorado bats. I mean, yeah, fuck Colorado. Fuck those guys.
It'd be really funny. That would never happen, but.
A couple other things happened today, or not today, this week. The Board of Governors meeting took place, which is where a lot of this came out. Gary Bettman said that he has no plans of leaving as commissioner, so we're stuck with him for longer. They gave a little salary cap update confirming that it will rise next year. The salary cap's going up a whole $1 million.
Wow.
So 82.5 million will be the salary cap next year, but they're projecting that the players will have cleared their pandemic debt to the owners by the end of the 2023-2024 season, which would lead to the cap increasing further in the 24-25 league year, which theoretically should see a massive bump. They're also projecting that revenue will reach $5 billion this year for the league.
Cool.
So things are definitely going in the right direction, which is another reason why you got to let these kids have fun out there, get revenue going up, bring more fans in, let them be flashy, let them have fun. Boom.
Boom. Money,
salary cap. People get rich. We get poor because it's going to be more expensive for us to go see games again.
Hey.
The other big thing that was kind of discussed is the Olympics is brought up again. It was reported that the owners do not want the player to send their players to the Olympics, which Gary Bettman or Bill Daly essentially said that this decision is primarily on the players, whether they want to go, but they do believe that the NHLPA shares the same concerns as the league does. The main thing is the quarantine period in China is if a player tested positive, you have
3 weeks.
3 to 5 weeks.
3 to 5 weeks?
Yes.
What?
3 to 5 weeks, and you also you have to have 2 positive tests within 24 hours, or else you have to go into quarantine.
2 negative tests?
No, 2 positive to avoid quarantine.
What?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
I know.
What do you mean 2 positive?
Or no, 2 negative. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought I was saying the right thing. Never mind. You're right. But
yes. Okay.
So 2 negative tests to avoid it. So as much as I want to see the players in the Olympics, NHL, and fun, I think it's the wrong decision to send them.
Yeah, it's just a hard time at this year to do that. Ugh.
Too many questions out there about what's
always
going on.
Always want the best to go and play in the Olympics, and especially with the way the teams would be made up this year. With Austin Matthews, Patty Kane, and then DeBrincat, and then McKinnon, Crosby, McDavid. That would just be amazing hockey to watch.
This probably would be the best Olympic hockey.
That's why I hope that the NHL does a World Cup of hockey sometime soon.
They also said that as soon as they're able to breathe or they get their head up above the water, they're going to do another World Cup. So
yeah, because you got to especially if you're not going to be in this Olympics, you got to have these guys play together at some point, because it's that's just.
And I hope they stick with the Team North America, because that was
I love that. Awesome. That was the most exciting thing. Can you imagine a Team North America that has we have probably Owen Power, Trevor Zegras, who else, Turcotte, and maybe even Doc.
That would be fun. What was it, 23 and under?
Bowen Byram, Quentin Byfield. Yeah, 23 and under, Cole Caulfield.
Oh, man.
Who else? Spencer Knight as their fucking goalie.
Oh,
yeah, God. That'd be a sick team.
That's a legit contender right there.
And all their goals are scored lacrosse style.
So we were kind of talking about this, and I thought it was really cool to kind of bring this up again, is there is a 3-week break in the schedule in February that contains the All-Star break and the Olympic break. If the NHL doesn't go to the Olympics, what should they do with that 3-week break?
Expand the All-Star.
So said you expand the All-Star game, and what do you mean by that? Let's expand on that a little bit.
I thought it would be really funny if they did an Olympic style All-Star break and go back to making full teams, but do it by division, and then you do a round robin and then playoff. So you have a full 18 person or 18 players, 2 goalies for each division, and each division plays each other, and then they get seeded, and you do a playoff and see who wins. So the winners could play like 5 games. Just do like a 1-loss playoff.
What if you still did like 3-on-3?
I don't know. Good.
But that's only what 3 guys, so you can only have 3 guys.
You only have 3 guys. But the 3-on-3 games they're shorter in general. So
we're talking about expanding the skills competition where you do guys that are
shows.
shows. That's not what I was going to talk about. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, do like an expanded where it's like you have your true cut all-stars participating, and then you have guys that will never make an all-star team, but still could potentially destroy somebody in a particular competition.
Yeah.
So like a hardest shot, you'd have guys that a lot of the guys that are probably got the hardest shot are not all-star players.
Martin Furk has like the hardest shot in the NHL, and he's like barely an NHLer.
Right. So that would be pretty cool too. I still think you can possibly do a World Cup of hockey. You can set that up very quickly.
I don't know how quickly you can actually set that up, but that would be really cool to do.
But it's gonna be super interesting to see what they do for that schedule, because it's like you can't really like start games early because arenas have obligations. Like especially now in the winter when you got concerts, you have a lot of people sharing arenas with the NBA teams and all this kind of stuff too. It's a weird, like, I'm surprised that they didn't have a backup plan, or maybe they do and they just haven't showed it.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think so. It'd be really cool if they just did like random shit. Like they had a bags tournament with NHL players. And then I was thinking you get like all the guys that are like known for fighting, and you just have them all hit the punching machine that they have at bars and just see who has like the hardest punch. Hey, I'm an ideas guy.
You're an ideas guy. Hey, NHL, hire Tanner. He's got your ideas.
You have him go through like a little combine with like see who can put up the most, who can bench press 225 the most times in a row.
Wasn't that something going on in the bubble with like Ovechkin and something like?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. there was like a push-up contest,
a ping pong tournament going. See who's got the best ping pong game. Just like just turn it into like a real world challenge for the NHL players and like the All-Stars.
God.
Can you imagine if they had a real world like NHL challenge and it was like a hockey house of like just random NHLers that wanted to be a part of it, and just like they all have like their time in the room where they're like, yeah, fuck that guy.
NHL Big Brother.
Yeah, exactly. And they have like little games that they have to play and compete in, and then they go head to head to see who gets eliminated.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
Hey man, I'm just a thinker.
And more money to make too. You put that on pay-per-view. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Stream on ESPN Plus, and it's all staticky, and you can't see what's going on. But
they have to get like an NHL 22 tournament going. See who's the champion.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Yeah, let us know what you think they should do in the break. What you want to see. I mean, theoretically, it just can be nothing. There's gonna be no hockey for 3 weeks, and that'll be it.
I mean, is it 3 weeks? Isn't like the 1 week for All-Star break or?
Really quick. I was going.
I don't know.
Hawk schedule. I think it comes out to like 3 full weeks.
Yeah.
It's February. The last time the Hawks play in February is the 2nd, and then they don't play again. So it's like two weeks.
Yeah, it's a long amount. It's a good amount of time.
So February 3rd to February 24th is 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, so I think that All-Star break is the first weekend of February.
Okay. So yeah, and then it's basically 2.5.
So Monday the 7th. So essentially Monday the 7th through the 24th.
17 days.
Yeah, is just nothing.
Nothing. Just hanging out.
Dudes being dudes, but
yeah.
All right, last thing I have on my list here, and we'll wrap this up unless you got anything else. Ben Bishop is officially calling it quits in his career. He tried for the last year and a half to rehab a knee injury. Did a stint in the AHL for conditioning and got lit up, and it's just It's
did you really?
happening. Yeah, I think it was like 8 goals he let up.
Oof, that sucks.
So he's just not going to be able to continue with his career, which is unfortunate because, I mean, he was great when healthy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, his career totals are 413 games played, 222 wins, a 232 goals against average, and a 921 save percentage. So that's like really fucking good. Anything above like 910 is like pretty league average. Like to be above 920 for your career is great.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate.
He had some good seasons. I mean, he lost to the Hawks in the playoffs in 2015, but that was also due to injury. I was scared during that playoffs, man, because he was playing so good.
Oh,
and then he went down with a knee injury.
Which I think, honestly, I think that was the beginning of the end. I think that it was that Hedman, when him and Hedman collided. And
no, he had suffered an injury earlier in the playoffs, and then he was playing through injury during the Hawks series, and then that's how
playoff.
No,
that was the same one.
Yeah, it was I forget who they were playing. I saw a clip of it the other day, but it was in like the Eastern Conference Finals, I think.
Was that Pittsburgh?
It might have been Pittsburgh.
Well, wasn't that the year after?
No, it was that year because he got pulled against the Hawks because of injury, and they were playing like Godlewski's or some shit.
Yeah. Before Valesky was Valesky.
Yeah, before Vasilevsky was Vasilevsky. Yeah, it's yeah, man, he was on fire, and I was like, oh god, I don't know if the Hawks are gonna be able to beat him. And then he went down with injury, and I was like, oh, we got this.
Yeah.
So no, I wasn't worried at all.
Yeah,
they did have Vasilevsky playing. Oh wait, that's regular season. Hold on. Yeah, what? Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, I guess it was Vasilevsky that lost in the finals. I thought it was Godlewski. They had somebody else too.
No, it was Vasilevsky.
That's crazy. Great.
Yeah, it was before he was him because I remember chirping him. I'm like, what fucking goalie wears 88?
Yeah. That's right. That's weird. Why did I think, where's the other kid? Godlewski's was the year before. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, so
we got to Vasilevsky before anybody else. No big deal.
Yeah, and he hasn't lost a Stanley Cup since.
Hey, too bad.
All right, you got anything else?
No.
All right, so this is episode 163. Tanner, what are we calling it?
Oh, boy. The Resurgence of Taves.
Resurgence of Taves.
Or Monkey off the Back? Question mark. Gorilla off the back?
Monkey off the back?
Gorilla off the back?
Yeah, we'll go gorilla off the back. I like that one.
Yeah. This week we got a Taves and a Doc goal, so it's a gorilla off the back.
No, we didn't even say we didn't say who they're playing this week.
They got Calgary tomorrow.
Or tonight.
That's gonna be a W, man, because they're win one, lose one.
I'm honoring Fleury too, for the 500th win. Then you got Washington, who's definitely probably going to be coming pissed after the way they lost to us.
Definitely, probably, yeah.
Then you got Nashville.
I just want to point out that this week we're playing Washington, who's in first in the Metropolitan, also first in the Eastern Conference, and we're playing Calgary, who's first in the Pacific, and then Nashville and Dallas, who are both playing pretty goddamn well.
Yeah.
Dallas lost 3 in a row, but they were on a streak of like 6 games or 7 games in a row.
Yeah, I think that's what last episode we talked about. That. I think they were like on one of the streaking teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of this month is not going to be easy because you got Nashville, Dallas, Florida, Dallas, Columbus.
Yeah, Florida, who's also in first again.
Yeah, Columbus, who is, they're decent when they want to be, but they're also, it's going to be interesting. Is that the first time we're playing them since the Seth Jones trade?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So Boquist homecoming in Chicago. on the 28th.
Yeah, because then we play him again on the 11th of January.
Yeah, so he's gonna try to probably.
We still haven't even played Minnesota. What is the deal here?
Yeah, we don't play them until January, end of January.
This is fucking crazy. Yeah. So that's like the weirdest thing to me is like we're completed our season series against Toronto. We completed our season series against the Rangers. We'll have played like Columbus twice, but we still will not have played
Capitals
Minnesota
twice.
At all. Yeah, Capitals twice. Like we played Pittsburgh twice.
And then it's back to back against Minnesota too. 21st, 22nd of January.
It's so weird to me. Like I feel like we should have played like all of our divisional rivals like at least once already. Whatever. Yeah, Merzlikins is just like putting that team on his back like he said he would. That's crazy. He's doing really well. He's doing real well.
All right, so it's episode 163. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. Follow us on social media at WCB Podcast. 5-star review on Apple Podcasts too. Doesn't matter what you put, just give us 5 stars. Just do it. Do it. Yeah, follow the HockeyPodNet at HockeyPodNet on all social media. Use the draft codes, promo code THPN, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Yes. All right. Love you, boys. Bye.